Indian Writing in English by Srinivasa Iyengar. Introduction. Srinivasa Iyengar. Kodaganallur Ramaswami Srinivasa Iyengar, Indian writer, was born on April 17, 1908 in Sattur, Tamil Nadu, India. After education, he joined the Department of English in the Andhra University. He became the Vice-Chancellor of the Andhra University on June 30, 1966. Wrote extensively on British, American and Commonwealth literatures. He has also written on comparative aesthetics and spiritual heritage of India and authored more than 40 books. Received the Sahitya Akademi Fellowship in 1985. Died on April 15, 1999 in Chennai. Indian Writing in English. First published in 1962. It is a series of lectures in Indian writing in English at the University of Leeds. It is considered to be an educative guide on writings in English in India and its different facets. Summary. Srinivasa Iyengar starts the work by thanking Professor Norman Jeffares for inviting him to give lecture on Indo Anglican literature. He addresses the students and states that he too has came through the lecturers given on Indian writing in English. He indicates his visit earlier, meeting Professors Dobry and Orton and giving lecturers at St. Matthew's Parochial Hall. He extends his gratitude for inviting him to give lecturers in England from 1951. He considers the Commonwealth nations are many, they speak one language, but India is a nation with different languages. The literature produced is considered to be the heartbeat of nature and it makes the whole world kin. He indicates E.F. Oden, who won a prize at Cambridge for an essay on Anglo-Indian literature and later published it as a book. He has stated the critical survey about the writing of Englishmen in India on Indian themes. But later Professor P. Seshadri and Dr. Bibal Singh have given lectures including both English writers on Indian subjects and Indian writing in English. Mr. George Sampson has also mentioned about the Indian writing in English. They consider Indian literature as a product of Indo-English literary relations and an offspring of Anglo-Indian literature. The word Anglo-Indian has a racial connotation, and so the Anglo-Indians merge with Indians or the Pakistanis, and so it is not the Anglo-Indians who created the Anglo-Indian literature. Unlike the Americans, Africans whose works are stated as American literature of African literature, the works of Indian writers are not termed as Indian literature during early times. Even as Pearl Buck and Louis Bromfield wrote about India, they were classed as American writers. Indian literature comprises several literatures such as Assamese, Bengali, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, Sanskrit, etc. C.R. Reddy has stated that the Indo Anglican literature is not different from Indian literature as it is a part of Vedas and continues to spread to the writers such as Tagore, Iqbal, and Aurobindo Ghose. The term Indo Anglican is used from 1883 itself in order to indicate a printed volume of specimen compositions from native students. Iyengar too adopted this as the title of his first book written for the P.E.N. All India Centre. He has indicated the controversy aroused because of the usage of the words Indo Anglian and Indo Anglican. Indian are writing in English for communicating with others outside the nation in an Indian way. Indo Anglian poet have given something which is neither English poetry nor the regional literatures can give with Indian poetic experience with English verse expression. Professor N.K. Siddhanta reviewed the book and put forward certain questions regarding the subject and discipline of writing. Sir Edmund Gosse suggested Sarojini to write about the flowers and fruits in familiar province rather than writing about the robins and skylarks in the Midland countries. Indian writing in English is greatly influenced by the writings in England and had Romantics, Victorians, and Modernists. Indo Anglian literature has also contributed to the world writing in English, as it is stated in an article entitled England is Abroad. Literature is produced in Sydney or Vancouver or Madras. Indo Anglian literature became both an Indian literature and a variation of English literature. This is not good as the native literature and is considered to be an imitation of other with misdirected creative talent. This literature is often stated as parasitic literature. But it is not true in all work, as Jawaharlal Nehru's autobiography is treated as a class in its category. Some poems of Toru Dutt, Sarojini Naidu, and Hayran are placed high by good English critics. Some Englishmen think that Indo Anglian literature is not as good as English literature as it comes to him as a curiosity and often misty in the name of mysticism. He states the example of Sakunthala and indicates the thought of Aurobindo about the future of Indian literature. The creative writing, whether written in one's own language or in an adopted language, expresses the true dedicated spirit. He has indicated the writers of India who were patriots have changed themselves to write in English and were making Indian history and creating a new literature. Thus English has become the language of the Indians and the Indo-Anglian literature a literature of the Indians. English is a world language and the writers of England and India are writing in their own fashion. From 1857 to 1900 English education took rapid strides and made the creative Indian genius, and the next 20 years witnessed the spread of English education. Even after independence the English language prevailed in India and has made a vast growth in all fields officially. Rajaji has consented to have English as the official language. During the Gandhian era, as Khadi has not replaced the mill cloth, the English language is not replaced by Hindi even after great promotions. After 150 years of acquaintance with English language, the Indians, even Rajaji, asserted English as the gift of Saraswati. He has indicated the circulation of the English newspapers, which has overnumbered the Hindu newspapers, and during 1957, 193 new English journals were started. Iyengar has also indicated the number of publications in the universities which gave prominence to English. The language of higher administration, law courts, medium of teaching and conferences are all in English. Iyengar considers the words of Yeats as wrong when considering India, as he has stated a stately people clownish, putting indignity into their very souls, as Indians are patriotic. The citizens has realized that in developing world dream, the future is with English and not in Hindi. English acted as the Suez Canal for intellectual intercourse between the West and the East, England and India. Eminent Indian thinkers of past and the present have made themselves heard in the West. Many people knew modern Indian thought through Tagore. The native writings must be cherished, and on the other hand English is considered as one of the national languages and Indo-Anglian literature as one of the national literatures. The Indian writing in English is seen as a distinctive literature. Like all other writers, the Indo-Anglian writers too managed to be the masters of English prose and verse. At first the Sayaji Rao University at Baroda has introduced a paper on Indo-Anglian literature in the postgraduate level. He indicates the writings of Jawaharlal Nehru and Radhakrishnan, the then Prime Minister and Vice President, were exclusively in English. India's elder statesman C. Rajagopalachari has written both in Tamil and in English. In official journals, prose and poetry are published in English. The leading Indian weekly received an average of 30 English poems a day to be published. When the controversy of English as an official language was running over in India, Iyengar got an invitation to give a lecture on Indo-Anglian literature. He states that there are peculiarities of Indian life and experience and speech that don't easily admit of translation into English terms. He considers the literature as a new literature and expects to have a new experimental critical approach to have a proper evaluation of the literature produced. He wished this literature to be approached with something of an open mind, not too impatient to pause, nor too ready to condemn. For more videos, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.